book you start without forcing yourself. Hello and welcome to this live session today, and I am Leslie Grace, the confidence coach. I help you master confidence smartness through smart reading, smart thinking, and of course smart speaking. Yesterday we had an amazing live session. Help! I start books, but I never finish them. And so I got quite a number of messages and feedback. And so I promised yesterday that today I'm going to be showing you 6 ways you can finish any book you start without forcing yourself. Are you with your journal and your pen? Let me talk to you. This is not just a continuation of yesterday. It is a gateway and an explanation, a solution to why you have been struggling with books, but most importantly, how you can now fix that how. So today we're talking about how completion actually happens in 6 exact steps. So if you're listening to me right now, please stay with me. If you started a book with excitement and watched that excitement fade somewhere in the middle, I want you to hear this. Finishing books is not a personality trait. No. It is not even a thing of a moral strength or discipline kind of thing. No, it is a design problem. And once you change the design that you have, you can finish any book you start, no matter how busy you are. And I'll be showing you 6 ways to finish the books that you start. Are you ready? Bring out your journal, bring out your pen, share this live with somebody that should be here on this conversation, because you are finally going to finish the books you start at the end of this live today. Let's get on. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for joining me today. Hey, share this live with somebody that should be here, like I said, and do not forget that we go live. Hey, share this live with somebody that should be here, like I said, and do not forget that we go live Mondays to Fridays at 1 p.m. West African time, Saturdays 7 p.m. West African time, every single week, all year round. Let's go. 7 ways to finish a book. These are not just practical shifts. Interestingly, they are not mindset talk, not motivation. No, they are real practical hands-on that you need. They are practical shifts. All right. Now, way number 1, write it down. Way number 1, decide the kind of book you want to finish before you start. So that I mean, decide the kind of finish before you start. Most of us start books. In fact, our starting is defined, but our finishing isn't defined. And guess what? This is what changes everything. Because most people start books with only one definition of finishing: cover to cover. What kind of finishing do you want from that book? It was my mentor, Coach Wenjeloke, that said, do not just finish the Bible, let the Bible finish you. But every day we see people who go ahead to say things like, oh, I just want to finish the Bible. This year I finished the Bible. Can you even finish it? And what do you mean by finishing? So when you pick up a book, the first thing you want to do is define, what kind of finishing do I want to do on this book? What is my definition of finishing this book? What does that even mean? What does it mean? Because if the only definition of finishing you have is cover to cover, your brain hears long journey, no exits. And it's sounding like an indefinite finish. Where are we going to? How are we going to achieve it? So instead of that, decide what you want to finish before you begin. It is the Bible that says you want to finish a tower, sit down and count the cost. Count the cost for the finishing. Count the kind of finishing that you want to do. Take, for instance, you can say things like, I'm finishing this book when I extract 3 usable, marketable ideas from the book Sell Like Crazy by Sabi Subi. For instance, I'm finishing this book when I understand in exactitude what it means to reset my parenting. I picked up a book, Parenting Reset. I need to understand what exactly parenting reset is. That's when I'll be done with this book. Or you say something like, I'm finishing this book when this book answered one question. The question that I have is, what do I need to understand about money to make money in 2026? So I pick up the book, Psychology of Money, and I'm asking myself, when am I finishing this book? I'm finishing this book when I have the understanding of what psychology behind money making is all about. Exactly. That's what it means. That's what I mean by saying define what finishing a book, finishing each book. Now, finishing each book would be different thing for you. It should be different thing for you. Take, for instance, some people say, okay, I want to read the book of Matthew this month of January where I'm praying and fasting. And then the person goes, you know what? The basic reason I'm reading is for health. I need to understand what health, healing, divine healing is all about. And the person gets to Matthew 8:17. Himself took my infirmities. And the person goes, I now understand what it means. Do you know that person has successfully finished the book of Matthew? I was just using an example with the Bible for you. So as a person, and as you're joining me, let me know in the comment section, where are you joining me from? I'd love to know where you're joining me from. All right? So instead of you deciding that this book is good, I'm going to be done with this book when I get to the end of the book. Oh, Mr. Chris, we should give you an award. Thank you for always being here. We really appreciate your time, your patience, your sticking with us consistently. We do not take it for granted. Thank you, sir. So you want to ask yourself, the number one way to finish books that you start, I'm giving you 6 ways today, is to decide what finishing that book means for you. Now, finishing book A would definitely mean a different thing from finishing book B. Take, for instance, book A. You pick a book while you act the way you do. Finishing that book for me would be for me to understand my temperament. I don't want to finish that book and I'm guessing about what my temperament looks like or what temperament I fall under. But if I'm picking the book Parenting Reset, for me, finishing that book would mean that as a mom of older adults, I'm able to actually call them at the end of that book to say, I failed in these areas and this is what I want to reset in this home. What does finishing? Because for most of us busy professionals, what we do is finishing this book would mean I got to chapter 10 of the book. The book has 10 chapters. I got to chapter 10. I finished it. Your brain is just seeing a long journey with no exits. Define your finishing before you start. Because the truth is, when the brain knows the finish line, it cooperates. I'll say that again. I need you to write it in the comment section. When my brain knows the finish line, it cooperates. The reason your brain is struggling is because it does not understand what's the finish line. Where are we going to? You went to pick a 400 and something page book. Why We Want You to Be Rich by Robert Kiyosaki and Donald Trump. That is a voluminous book. What you want to do is to tell yourself, I want to understand why Donald Trump sat down to write this book. Why? Why? How did Robert Kiyosaki and Donald Trump make a fusion? How did they meet up? How did they decide to write this book? I want to understand it. So that way, my brain understands what the finish line is for us. And so to cooperate. Completion is easier when the finish is clear and humane. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. So why is it that you pick up a book and the end seems hard? The end doesn't seem better. Yes. That is why you start books and you don't finish it. The end of a thing is meant to be better. So it's meant to be clear. It's meant to be definite. It's meant to be humane. It's meant to be achievable. It's meant to be measurable. Not just when I get to the chapter 10, that's the end. That's not clear. That's not human. That is not better than the beginning thereof. So every day you pick a book, tell yourself, better is the end of this book than the beginning thereof. So that being said, this is what our end looks like. I'm sure that when you have this in your palm, definitely you'll be able to finish any book you start. I'm sure somebody is shocked and wondering, I didn't even know this. Exactly. That's why I'm the one that I said for you. And that's why you shouldn't miss any of our live sessions. 1 p.m. Mondays to Fridays, Saturdays, 7 p.m. West African time. Lock it, clock it, don't miss it. Way number two. And I hope you invited somebody for this live. Don't be here alone. Don't be here alone. I'm sharing with you 6 practical ways to start and finish any book without pressure. So share this live with somebody. Way number 2. Read in purposed chunks, not natural chapters. Read in purposed chunks, not natural chapters. This one is personal to me. And it is a deep secret that book bingers understand. In fact, let me say this before I continue. Your brain does not understand chapters. Write it down. The person that understands chapters is the author of the book. Let me explain to you what I mean by your brain does not understand chapters. Let's say you read the book 5 a.m. Club, and you finished reading that book, and you were able to finally beat that 5 a.m. sleep that has been a battle for you. You not only beat that fight, that sleep, but you were able to tell yourself that if I wake up 5 a.m., I can achieve anything. That thing has been ingrained in your subconscious, and you see the way your days roll out every day you wake up at 5 a.m. Do you know that if they call you and they ask you which chapter hit you the most in that book, you may not be able to answer that question. Or let me know in the comment section, will you be able to answer that question? Will you be able to respond to that question accurately, definitely? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So understand that chapters are written for authors, not for brains. When you join the Book Bingers booth, we introduce to you what we call dividing books into beats. That's what we call it. Beats, not chapters. Chapters are meant for authors, not brains. Chapters are one of the reasons people leave books. Some chapters are too long. Some chapters are too dense. Some chapters are emotionally heavy. Interestingly, wow. Oh, somebody says, I am currently reading 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. Oh, wow. The Spirit is speaking to me about you. Oh, my goodness. All right. So I was saying that when you get into the Book Bingers, but the first thing you hear is, sorry, we don't do chapters here. We do bits. We read in bits. And when we explain what the beat system is, how it runs, how it covers 7 days, and how we're able to do a book a week or year round in just 7 days, no matter what the book is all about, Book Bingers breathe. The first thing you get when you come into the book is a breathing, like a breath of fresh air. Books are explained in a way that you never knew, even though you have a PhD. We have PhD holders in the booth that never knew that books could be read in this way. That's why no matter how busy I am talking to you every day, yeah, I do a book a week or year round. Oh, I'm currently reading an amazing book this week. No busy professional should not read that book, Sha. Should I tell you the title of the book? Should I tell you? If I say yes in the comment section, maybe I will tell you. All right? But the truth is, sorry, please. What I mean is, do not read in chapters. Read for one purpose. Read for one purpose. Read for one purpose. And somebody say yes in the comment section. Okay, let me tell you. The book is titled The Assignment by Pastor Mike Murdock. The Assignment by Mike Murdock. It's a book that is a book. Yeah? So take it. For joining this live today, take it. It's from me to you. That's the kind of book you should start your year with. Anyway, let's move. Read for one purpose. Read for one concept. Read for one story. Read for one argument. And even if that would mean you stopping mid-chapter, stop mid-chapter if needed. Brains finish what feels contained. They resist what feels endless. The human brains will resist anything that feels endless. And that's why movies are fun to watch, yeah? Because the movie, the episodes, when they now break it into episodes, you do not even know that when they collect the number of episodes, you have done over 30 hours in one movie. You don't know. You don't know. Hello, peace. Hi, so good to have you here. You have no idea. Because guess what? Your brain is okay with what feels contained. The you who has done 30 hours on a movie, your brain did not resist it because it felt contained. Stop reading according to chapters, please. Number 3, The third way to finish a book you start is to change the position you read in. Come closer. This sounds simple, but it's powerful. Powerful indeed. Many people read in the same position. The same position where you work, the same position where you stress, the same position where you overthink. That is not the place where you should read. No. Listen, the human brain functions according to position. So let me say it this way. Attention answers to position. Attention answers to position. Write it down. Hit the like button if you're just joining in. Tell somebody to join this live. I'm sharing secrets I've never shared before about how to finish any book you start. 6 ways. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Tell somebody to join this conversation today. Write it down. Position affects attention. Attention answers to position. Attention, it is the Bible that kept on saying about the position of your heart. What is the state of your heart? Because there's a position your heart will take, the attention will be different. Do you remember the attention that Zacchaeus got when he took the position on the sycamore tree? Hey, hiya. Do you remember that? If you remember, put it in the comment section. Let me hear you. Do you remember what shifted for that man the moment he went on the sycamore tree? He got an attention. That is how your body reacts as well. Your body associates reading with effort. Do you see that the attention Jesus gave to him was associated to his effort, the effort he took to climb that tree? Yes, you remember him climbing the sycamore tree exactly. When he climbed that tree, Jesus looked at the effort and he said, Uncle, come down. I'm going to your house. You need to start making your body feel different. You need to start making your body feel the effort you are making to actually finish that book. The effort you are making to actually read and understand. Your body needs to get that message. The way Jesus got the message of the efforts. Hey, how are you? Happy New Year. So good to have you here. Hello, how have you been? Do you remember it? The moment Jesus saw the effort, Jesus said, this guy, you get it. I'm coming to your house. See, the zeal, everything you need to finish that book is tied to the effort, the effort message you want to send to your body. Send that message to your brain. Send it to your body. Read while you stand. Try to read while walking slowly. Try to read seated somewhere you never work or where you never stress yourself. In a place that feels different. Because guess what? When your body feels different, your brain behaves differently. I want to say that again. When your body feels different, your brain behaves differently. That's why you see people who have been in toxic work environment or toxic relationships. The moment they step out of that place, you can't recognize them. You can't recognize them. Do you remember what happened to Ruth? You remember what happened to her? Do you remember what happened to Ruth and Naomi? The moment they changed environment, the moment their body began to feel different, the same Ruth who told Boaz that, I don't deserve this kind of favor you're giving to me. Go and read that story. The first conversation Ruth had with Boaz, she rejected him out of fear, out of a lot. But you see, something happened to her the moment she had a conversation with her mother-in-law. Her mother-in-law says, "Sit down, man, that man can marry you. Better behave yourself." After that, her body felt different. So the next time she saw him, she said, "You know what, you can actually marry me." So the brain began to behave differently. Listen, sometimes, scratch that. Every time, the reason you don't finish books is not mental. It's not just mental alone. It is a physical association. A physical association. What is the association happening between your brain and your body? What's the association they're having? What's the association happening there? Way number four. Way number four. I hope that this is hitting some value for you. I hope that you are able to share this live with somebody that should join in, because you are finally seeing the way to actually start and finish books from this live today. Way number four. Talk the book out loud before you continue. Write it down. Talk the book out loud before you continue. People don't understand how to talk about a book you're reading. And especially if you have to do 50, 52 books, like we're doing the book binges both in a year. How do you talk about it? And guess what? One thing we did for book binges once you come in is that we give you what we call a book breakdown. Now, a book breakdown is simply how you talk about a book loud before you even continue the book, while you are still reading it. So we teach them a book breakdown system, and it is one of the secrets for reading and finishing any book you start without pressure. Here is something most people don't know. Your brain completes what it can speak, not only what it can think. And you see, that's why the Smart Speakers Academy runs a beautiful ecosystem. Read smart, think smart, speak smart. Because we know that if you stop at thinking smart, your brain may not complete. But once you move what you read through the chain, read, think, speak, read, think, speak, you will always finish what you start. Your brain completes what it can speak, not only what it can think. So before continuing a book, ask yourself, what have I read so far? Talk about it. Say it loud. Messy, say it loud. Unpolished, say it out. Incomplete, say it loud. That's what we do in the book binges booth. So in the book binges booth, we have a system. Oh, by the way, a book binger wrote to me yesterday about the book breakdown system, and she says, Coach, when you talked about it and you just gave us the way to do it, I'm like, this is not enough now. Let us. She said, but you know, Coach, few days in, I can understand why you say that you were given a blueprint for this thing. You have the blueprint. And, I had a good laugh when I saw the message. But the truth is that books you can talk about are books you can finish. Write it down. Only the books you can talk about can be books that you will finish. The moment you verbalize, your brain reconnects. The moment you verbalize, your brain connects. Your brain connects. So, while you are reading that book, while you are at it, talk loud about it. Way number 5. So I've given you 4 ways already to start and finish any book you start. I said number 1. The number 1 way is decide the kind of finish before you start. That was an amazing conversation. I told you what it means to actually decide the finish of a book is not just to say when I get to the ending. That's not the finish. You decide the finish of that book. Way number 2, I said read in purpose chunks, not in chapters, not in natural chapters. Chapters are for authors. Your brain does not understand what chapters are, so stop giving your brain chapter system. It's boring. Way number 3, I said change the position you read in. Change it. Number 4, I said talk the book out loud before you continue. You'll finish it when you do that. Before I continue, these 4 ways I mentioned now, is there any of these 4 ways I mentioned now that you are guilty of and that is the reason you start books and don't finish them? Let me know in the comment section. I'm going to give you a moment. So put for me the number that you're guilty of, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Which one is the one you don't do? So it's the reason you know that you don't finish what you start. Let me know in the comment section. Which, so that we can tell that, okay, this is the reason. This is the reason. This is the reason I am struggling. 1 to 4, which of them? Do you talk a book out loud? Do you tell yourself that, okay, I can only finish this book? Reading in the same position for work. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, please. Somebody has just shared. Number 3 is the third way that's the reason you start books, you don't finish. Yeah. You read in the same position where you work. So it affects you. That chair represents stress to your brain. So every time you go on that chair, your brain just says, they've come again. I'm not reading. Way number 5. Thank you. You can see the comment sections. Thank you. Yes, you can already see that this is where you're missing it. This is where the ass fell, right? This is where the ass fell. Like you say in the Bible, where the ass fell. And you can see that that's where you should change. Number 5. The 5th way to finish books you start is to remove the everyday expectation. Take it away. Now, listen to me. Many professionals fail at finishing books because they expect daily reading. And I know somebody saying, but coach, you read every day now. Calm down. See, if you want to pick up your journey, understand that consistency is not only about frequency, consistency is also about return. Consistency is not only about frequency, consistency is basically about return. Now, do you know why I say you need to take away the everyday expectation? Because if for any reason, now life interrupts, days break, rhythm collapses, things can happen. If you do not understand consistency as a return, as much as it is a frequent thing, you will struggle to finish books. You know, after working with book bingers for a couple of years, this year, when we're trying to still fine-tune and make the system better, we had to add one of the guides. So we made an 11 in 1 bundle. And do you know that consistency is not only about frequency, it's about returning, like coming back, return. And one of the first guides that we gave to book bingers in that 11 in 1 bundle, where we had loads of resources to give, was the reading restoration letters. And they were handwritten letters from me to every single book binger. Letters written each day for 21 days. Because people think that consistency is about frequency. Oh, I show up every day. What if on the day that your child had an emergency hospital visit? Yes, we pray against evil, yeah? But what happens on those days? Are you going to get lost and you'll not be able to get yourself restored to reading just because you lost one day? Thank you, I can see it in the comment section. Consistency is not only about frequency, it's about return. So instead of saying I must read every day, you need to decide, I read consistently. I don't just read every day. I read consistently. That's why I say I am a book binger. Do you know that for people who are addicted to things or substances, even on the days where you take them off it, they come back. Because it's not about frequency. It is about return. It is more about return. What happens when you go down? When the brain knows that it won't be punished for breaks, it will stop avoiding return. So you need to show yourself grace and mercy. Completion needs mercy. I need you to write it down. Completion needs mercy. You want to start books and complete them. It needs mercy. Show yourself mercy. Like, give yourself that room to say, okay, I'm a book binger. I read consistently. So even on the days I miss it, I will return. My return is sure. My return is more sure than my frequency. Say it to yourself. My return to books is more sure than my frequency. My return to books is more sure than my frequency. My return to books is more sure than my frequency. My return to books is more sure than my frequency. Way number 6. End each session. Okay, sorry about that. I think we just got a little bit of network glitch there. Okay, way number 6. End each session with, oh, thank you for staying till now. Thank you. End each session with anticipation, not exhaustion. So here's what I've seen and what I've noticed. Most people stop reading when they are tired. Dear busy professional, you need to stop because you're tired. You need to stop reading. You need to stop stopping yourself from reading because you're tired. Yes, yes, yes. When you do this, when you end this session with exhaustion, what happens is that you're training your brain to associate reading with depletion. I finally left this book. That was what was happening to you before now. That's what caused you reading trauma. Reading trauma that now you don't want to read. Now you see heavy books and you are scared. Now you keep saying, I'm too busy to read. What happened was because in time past, you always ended reading with exhaustion, not anticipation. So what you should do is, again, like I said, don't read in chapters, read in chunks. So what you should do is, even if you want to end your reading today, end when it's still interesting. End it with a question in your heart. So you just wanted to do 5 minutes reading today. End at that point that leaves you with a question. You're asking yourself, okay, take for instance, this week I'm reading The Assignment by Pastor Mike Murdoch. And the part I read today, I got to the point where the one of the facts about your assignment is that your assignment will have crisis. On your path to achieving your assignment, there will be crisis. And so the author talked about the crisis. Daniel faces crisis in the lion's den, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and just, and that's where I decided to end for the day. And so this question is in my heart. So, the assignment will cost me. There will be crisis on the assignment. But the people who succeed on the assignment are those who do not get swallowed when the crisis comes. So that part is interesting. There's a question in my heart. I want to know what next. So tomorrow, I'm definitely going to go back to that book because I want to now ask myself, so what do I do? What other fact about my assignment that will be more warm and encouraging and faith-filled because of where I stopped? So, do not end when you are tired. You're reading a book, don't end with exhaustion. End with anticipation. End with the question in your heart. Leave when desire is still alive. And that's why, again, you shouldn't read in chapters. That's why, again, you shouldn't read in chapters. You should read in chunks that are manageable and sizable and handleable. You should read in that way. So, read when the desire is still there. You are still desiring to continue that work. Read that way. There's still this heart desire to continue that reading. Sorry about that, please. All right, so you need to end with anticipation. What question is in your heart? What question is in your heart? What question is in your heart? As you're leaving that book, that is one way you should leave any book you are reading, with a question and anticipation, because your brain moves towards anticipation naturally. Remember that when you were 7 and they told you you're going to grandma's house, your brain, the whole thing you were thinking about is that trip. Is that true? So let reading also be like a trip for you, like a journey for you. Something that as you're leaving the book today, there's an anticipation, there's something boiling in your heart that you want to come and meet tomorrow. So live with anticipation. Your brain moves towards anticipation naturally. That's how books pull you up to the end without force. This is how you can actually read and finish any book without force. Now, if these feel different, it's because they are, yeah? The 6 things you've heard and you've not heard them before, they look like, I didn't even know this. Well, they are not tricks. They are simply brain cooperation strategies. The truth most people miss is that finishing a book is a lot. It's just not about you pushing through resistance. No. It's about you removing the reasons that are going to be resistance. And then you need to understand that when reading fits into your life, your body, your energy, your cognition, then completion will just become natural. And I know that's what you want to achieve, completing your books naturally. This is exactly what we do inside the Healing from Reading Trauma course. If completion has been a journey for you, a daunting task for you, then the Healing from Reading Trauma course is there for you, because you cannot finish books. If you have struggled with finishing books in time past, you need to heal. There, in that course, it won't just be, it's going to be 3 days. You're also going to be having your healing bundle. A whole lot will be happening to you. We're not just going to teach you reading. We're going to teach you how to retain your brain, how to retain a reading relationship. If you are struggling with reading, you read books, you don't finish them, it's because you don't have a relationship. And you know what? You cannot have a relationship with someone who hurt you before, can you? The people you left in life are people who hurt you. That's why you're leaving books. In time past, books have hurt you. How do I know? You're always saying I'm too busy to read. But you're not too busy to chat with your friends. You're not too busy to cook. You're not too busy to unwind. You're not too busy for the things that matter to you. The reason you're too busy to read is because books keep you in pain. Unfinished books are there. You were growing up in school and they always called you Sabi Sabi. So when your brain thinks of books, your inner child is still seeing books as that thing that made you got shamed. You struggled with reading, you couldn't read up to age 8. And so they shamed you for books, they shamed you for reading. Your younger one was a smarter one. So they kept on saying to you, why can't you just read? No break for you. Sit down there until you finish that book. And so, all that books signal to your brain is force, pressure, shame, too busy for. So you keep on saying, I'm too busy to read. There's a way to build a sustainable relationship with books that can lead you into completing any book you pick and you finish. If you start books and you don't finish them, nothing is wrong with you. You were simply taught to read in a way that your brain could not sustain. In medical school, they punished you for not finishing a 700-page book. While you were in school, the lecturer saw the textbook, and then 2 nights before his exam, he came up with another handout and he said, this is where my exam questions are coming from. And you had no choice but to do that marathon 2 nights of not sleeping just to be able to pass your exams. The truth is, your brain now thinks that reading is something that can never be sustained. We're not doing this. The inner child in you, the inner teenager in you, the inner school leaver in you, the inner master degree holder in you is saying no, no, no to books. And the truth is, until that changes, finishing stops being present. Until you change that, finishing will continuously be a struggle. The only way to make finishing books a habit is to heal from all of the traumatic experiences you have with books. Let me talk to you, dear busy professional. Especially if you studied in this part of the world that I studied in. You definitely have reading trauma somewhere playing in you. If you never grew up seeing reading as pleasure, then reading was pressure to you. Pressure for you. You were pressurized into reading. So now you are an adult, you are wondering why. Coach, why are you saying why should I read a book a week? Well, while you are arguing, the top CEOs in the world have been able to heal. Yes, that's the only way people like Elon Musk are saying I will do books every week. That's the only way Elon Musk built the Tesla cars by books. He has a beautiful, amazing relationship with books. And hey, if you have children, you should start working on yourself real quickly so you don't mount the same pressure on your children and leaving them to also face this you're facing now. So heal, 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 heal. One of the guides, interestingly, you'll be getting when you join the Healing from Reading Trauma course is the Heal Before You Read guide. Heal before you read. You need to heal before you read. It's not just reading. See, as a busy professional, it's not just read, it's not just pick a book, start it, finish it. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about how you read, think, speak, create from the books you read. It's a journey. It's a journey. And yes, the Healing from Reading Trauma course is open. It's going to be this January, the last 3 days in January, from the 29th to 31st of January. It's going to be virtual. You're going to have your healing guide, your healing bundle. You have everything that you need to make you be the person who can actually finally stop saying I'm too busy to read, but start and finish books. I want to say to you, if you're joining me today, the early bird discount is still there, so you can take the course for $9,999. Yes. Send an email to thismouthspeakersacademy@gmail.com or send us a DM on any of our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, The Smart Speakers Academy. Just send us an email here and you definitely get access to the Healing from Reading Trauma course. You know, people who are struggling with reading, take this course. Just 3 days. It's simple, easy, breezy, cheap, and it's something that you need to take advantage of. Trust me, you get more than what you paid for. If you've taken any of our courses, you know that you get over and above and abundantly. We give you exceedingly, abundantly, above all that you can ever pay for. Yeah? Thank you so much for joining me today. And I am Leslie Grace, the Confidence Coach. I hope that you get to subscribe to this channel. Yes, do. You need to subscribe. Because this is the channel where you get value. Mondays to Fridays, 1 p.m. West African time. Saturdays, 7 p.m. West African time. Value for your time, energy, and data. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. West African time. This is the Smart Work.